Welcome, everybody, to our second season of Staffing Sharks Review It, the real scoop on staffing solutions. I'm here with the one and only Matt from Staffing Engine. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm glad to be live with a shark. And, man, I love that intro.
Oh, hey, that'll pump you up anytime, right? Gives you a heartbeat. Oh, man. But me and Matt have something in common. What is the common interest, Matt?
We are, baby.
Penn State all the way. So Ohio State fans out there, we are the Pennsylvania State University.
Awesome.
But hey, thank you so much for coming on the show. Our second season kickoff today. I'm excited to just talk about this, what I call supercharge. I've seen that in your intro and stuff like that. And I just love that because anytime you hear Staffing Engine, I'm thinking of a Corvette. Fast, powerful, and gets the job done. And I think that's what your solution is.
Corvette, Ferrari, locomotive, whatever you want to call it, baby.
You got it, my man. So I'll tell you what, Matt, real quick, just tell us a little bit about yourself here and how'd you fall into the company here?
Sure. Well, as you can probably see from my background, you see some Patriots gear back there. And yes, we got our butts whipped on Saturday, but I'm not going to hide it. Still a diehard Pats fan. From Boston, Foxborough area, born and raised. Went to school at Penn State, actually ventured back to Boston after college. That's where I got really my first job was with Bullhorn out of college. That's where I got my sales background. That's where I got my recruiting, staffing, industry expertise. Spent 8.5 years there. Was an awesome ride. Worked with a lot of really awesome clients from the small to some of the biggest in the world. And I got an incredible opportunity to come join a fast-growing startup here at Staffing Engine, and here we are.
Well, first off, I'm going to say it over and over again. I love the name. I love marketing. But Staffing Engine just it sounds powerful. So tell us a little bit about the company. What's the next level for you guys?
Let me plug our CMO Andrew Kimball for a second. Andrew is one of our co-founders and was also a co-founder at TextUs, where he ran marketing there. And he just has a crazy, brilliant mind when it comes to marketing the brand, understanding the audience, understanding what's compelling to the end user. So anything that around our marketing or branding, I give all the kudos to Andrew.
Man, there you go. Shout out to Andrew there. So tell us a little bit about the company in general. I mean, we got so much to talk about. I know when I get on the site, because I was doing some research, the bot shows up 24/7. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, you can't miss it.
Yep. And, I love the staffing and recruiting industry, but we tend to be technology laggards at times and a little bit behind the curve. And as an example of that, chatbots are absolutely booming in other verticals. By the end of this year, in fact, 80% or more of all banking and healthcare transactions that are customer facing will be handled by automated bots. We're not there yet as a staff, as an industry, but we're moving in that direction. And the goal is not to replace the recruiter. It's to help the recruiter maintain relationship focus and deflect a lot of the mundane tasks that can be automated. Very important. While chatbots are one thing that Staffing Engine does, it's not the only thing. So we market ourselves as a recruitment automation and acceleration platform. Acceleration is key. We go out and find areas of the recruitment process that are broken and try to accelerate it. So chatbot and candidate-facing interaction when they visit your website, or really I call it a digital storefront, is one aspect, but there are other things that we're doing for the internal recruiter as well, as they use their CRM and their ATS to help accelerate the way that they work there too.
Man, that is good stuff. So I'm an entry-level recruiter. How easy is it to use? Am I going to be confused and just flip out, or is it just one of things click and go?
So therein lies the beauty of Staffing Engine. And again, I was at Bullhorn for 8.5 years, and training end users on any CRM or platform like that is incredibly involved, because you're talking about things like recruitment, sales, timekeeping, invoicing, billing, payroll, that kind of platform, takes time to pick up and adopt. Staffing Engine is incredibly easy to adopt. And here's the primary reason why. Most of the items and functionality that we're building are candidate and client facing. So when someone lands on your website, the old way of doing things is that they would fill out an application or a web form and wait for a recruiter to get back to them.
Yep.
That's too slow in 2022. People are used to the chatbot experience. People, especially millennials and Gen Zers, want a way to talk to a machine before a human being to get answers to their questions. So most of what we've built thus far is candidate facing. So the internal recruiter doesn't really have to do anything. That changes a little bit when the website visitor wants to have a live conversation. And so if they're not able to get answers from the web bot, and we've all had experiences where that happens, and we just want to talk to a live person, we can kick that conversation from an AI bot to a live human. And the really cool thing about what we've done is we've built integrations to Microsoft Teams, Slack, Google Chats on the way.
Nice.
Tools that recruiters are already using, and they can claim the conversation in those collaboration tools. So if they're talking, if Richard, if you and I are recruiters and we're having a one-on-one conversation, then we see a candidate's landed on the website and wants to have a conversation, I can click into that channel, start communicating with them in real time and give them answers to their questions. We're really turning the website into a true on-demand experience, which is incredibly powerful.
And that's amazing. Last night I was up till 3 a.m. doing some content. So if I'm a job seeker, 3 a.m, can't sleep, boom, I got the bot. I can chat back and forth instead of waiting till 8 o'clock till the office opens up.
If you've got a really dedicated recruiter, like I know you are, and they're up at 3 a.m. and able to answer those questions, you can even live chat them at that time. And we do have customers who keep the live chat option on even after hours and on the weekends, because they have recruiters who want to be able to respond to those individuals. You have full control over, if someone's not available, what the message is, how long it takes to time out, and that sort of thing. But the idea is that we're allowing you to give candidates and clients answers to their questions 24/7, no matter what time of day it is.
Wow.
Go ahead.
So if I'm a recruiter, tell me, I can actually just look on my phone, see the message, and respond if I want to, or let the bot take over too.
Yep. All you'll need, so you'll have control over that. All you'll need is Teams or Slack on your phone. And where I'm a Slack user, I feel like most staffing agencies that we talk to are Microsoft shops, and they've really adopted Teams. And what's really crazy is over the last couple of years, as agencies have moved more and more to a remote and hybrid model, they're using those collaboration tools more than they ever imagined. And when you tell a staffing agency that you have an integration to Microsoft Teams, they lose their mind, because it's because it's so important. Because if you're remote and you have your recruiters all over the country, that's how you're communicating with them in that tool. We actually did a lot of research as we built this out, and staffing agencies who were using live chat functionality, but if it required them for their recruiters to learn a new UI or new tool, it wasn't getting adopted. So we thought long and hard about, all right, how can we improve adoption of a live chat functionality? And it's obvious, it's right in front of us. Let's build integrations to tools that they're already using, so they don't have to learn anything new.
And that's amazing, because when you said on demand, I mean, we're all, and I say this every time, we're all ADHD. I mean, come on. If you hit a channel and it's still streaming and it's low internet service, you're boom to the next one, right? It's we don't have time to wait. And this is the same thing for the candidate either. They're just going to bounce to another staffing firm or something if you don't have this.
100%. We are not a replacement for phone, email, text message. Those things aren't going to disappear overnight, but we are another net to catch and another channel. And if you're a Gen Zer or millennial, and chat and chat bots are your preferred method of communication, if you land on a staffing agency website and don't have that interaction, I guarantee you in under 2 minutes, you'll find an agency who does offer that. And that's going to become your preferred method of communication and preferred staffing agency, which is why it's really critical that agencies have that as a channel.
Exactly. And this day and age, you only got, what they always say, 5 seconds to grab that candidate's experience, right? It's like Eminem would say,
especially in this candidate-starved market. You got to have it. And we've seen it. We've taken off more in healthcare than any other vertical, and that's just because if you think about the applicant, they're travelers or nurses who are rolling off shifts at all hours of the day, and if they're probably not looking at jobs during your 9 to 5 window. They're probably looking at it really late at night or over the weekend, and so having that channel there when they're applying and have actual questions is the best time to reach them.
And what I like about the bot is it's so user friendly. I mean, I'm half blind, and it's like, boom, it's right there. You can see it. It's like, and it doesn't go away. It's like, it keeps coming up.
The other thing too is that we really take our time to brand the bot to be an extension of our client's brand. No one wants a bot that has staffing engine written all over it. We're marketing ourselves. They want to market theirs, and so
exactly.
We have clients who have put the name of their staffing agency in the bot. We have a really cool application of this. Is we have a client where their logo is two mountaintops, and they've branded their bot Cliff, and he's got like a carabiner and mountain climbing stuff on him. And it's like, it's cute, but it's also, if you're a client and that's their first interaction with your brand, it's compelling and causes them to want to interact with you.
You're totally right on that. And I'm 100% on that branding on apps and everything like that. They want to see your logo over and over again. If I can tell you anything, logo goes a million miles.
Yep, absolutely.
Good stuff there. So now one question I'm going to ask you, and this is like on every company that I deal with, support. When something goes wrong or something goes bad, where's the support at? Everybody wants to know that.
Yeah, that's a really good question, especially for us as we're a startup mode. I was our first sales hire. I'm employee number 6. We just brought on employee number 7. We're actually making an offer to employee number 8 today.
Nice.
We're being very diligent about the companies that we bring on. We're not bringing on anyone that's going to demand, a large enterprise client right now. We're really focusing on the SMB and mid-market space. And we have a team that's spread out across the country and on demand. So if you're on the West Coast and have questions or need something, I'm probably going to be the one to answer and start supporting you. If you're on the East Coast, you've got Casey, who's our chief of staff in UX. So we're spread out and we're well able to support our customers. One of my next hires is going to be a salesperson, but I saw the demand that staffing engine has, and I made it a point that we were going to hire an onboarding specialist before a sales hire, so we had that infrastructure to support and grow our client base. So
the big thing is, if anybody has any trouble or anything like that, there's one person to call. Just call Matt, right?
Well, no, we've got, I'm customer and sales facing, but we've got Jay, who's our VP of partnerships. We have Casey, our chief of staff. You can call Andrew, who's our CMO. So we're all in a position to be customer facing and answer customer support questions.
That's awesome. And that's the biggest thing that I think a lot of companies need to address there is, when the support, you got to be there to put out the fire if there's anything like that.
Yeah, one of the things that was very attractive to me in joining Staffing Engine, because it is risky anytime you join a startup, but I think three of our 4 founding partners were the executive leadership team at Text Us. And if you're not staffing, if you're in staffing, I'm sure you've heard of Text Us, but very successful text messaging, recruiting, communication company that grew to I think like 60, 70 employees in a very short period of time, and they had a lot of success scaling that team out. And so that was one of the things that I asked our CEO Ted coming up is what's our plan for growth? How are we going to make sure that we onboard everyone successfully, everyone adopts the tool, and everyone gets supported correctly?
Good stuff. Okay, so the question is, how user friendly is it on the cell phone? 99% of my candidates, it's right here. Nobody uses a computer anymore. So
yeah, that's a great question. And no, I did not that was not a stage question. So I'm glad you asked it.
I swear it wasn't. Everything's live here. We never stage anything.
we definitely built the app to be mobile first. And if you go to one of our clients' websites, regardless of whether you're on a desktop, tablet, I don't know if it'll work on a old school Palm Pilot, but cell phone, you got us, and it's the same UX same user experience. So
that's awesome. And one thing I always want to elaborate on, this is going to save you money and time, Matt. Tell everybody how it's going to save them and the firm and the recruiter and everything else.
Yeah. So first and foremost, we're a recruiter productivity tool. So if you think about a candidate who's interacting with your website for the very first time, and they have questions around pay, benefits, housing, whatever it might be, we can answer those types of questions on the website via a bot. So what you don't have is recruiters and potential candidates emailing back and forth 6 or 7 times to find a time to meet, get on a phone call and find out that they're not qualified. So we make sure up front that they're a very qualified candidate. You're not going to have a picker packer, a warehouse worker applying to a nursing job and vice versa. We know that we have jobs for this candidate, and then we can do some really smart things within the bot. So we can put in knockout questions. We can, based on their answers, so location, specialty, years of experience, we can route them via a calendaring tool to the right recruiter or recruiting team. And we can do all kinds of things based on next recruiter up, round robin. So we are a smart interview scheduling tool on top of a bot in that regard too. So one, it's an incredible productivity tool as far as keeping your recruiters and sales reps focused on relationship building and not on mundane tasks and task management. And then we boost candidate and client experience via that web channel.
So you're telling me I'm a recruiter, and then I wake up in the morning, I have 20 different people. They're in different categories. If there's 6 nurses, they'll be in one category. The picker and packers will be in another one. So I don't have to sort through them all.
Well, the beauty is you wake up in the morning and we eat our own dog food. So we use the bot on our website, and I'll wake up and already have meetings with qualified potential buyers scheduled on my calendar because they've gone through the bot and we've qualified them. So again, we're not wasting time. We're 100% focused on the staffing and recruiting industry. So I don't have anyone coming through that's corporate HR or internal recruiting, because we ask that question up front via the bot and schedule time with someone who's qualified. Same thing goes for our clients. We're only scheduling people who are qualified and that we have potential opportunities for them.
Man, where was this at 10 years ago? I wouldn't have silver in my hair by now. I would have been still good to go.
It's crazy. It's the fastest growing brand communication channel out there. And if you think about your website as a digital storefront, and man, the last 2 years have advanced this big time. There were other, we don't really have a true competitor in the space right now. There were other companies doing this sort of thing a couple of years back, but I almost think that they were too early to market. This wasn't when we had more candidates than jobs, and rather than more jobs and candidates, this was not the same type of powerful tool then. Same way as we've moved to a remote workforce where people are using collaboration tools. They weren't using tools like Microsoft Teams and Slack 3-4 years ago like they are now.
Man, incredible stuff. The wave of the future is here now. I tell everybody that the looking at the black and white resume, paper resume. Who even does a resume anymore? I got to tell you, Matt, I interviewed 10 people this week and only 4 had a resume, and these are people with college degrees. They're like, you want to see what I can do? Let's interview.
The digital resume is changing. And I'll shout out to my friend Jan over at Candidly. And Jan's putting on the World Staffing Summit next week, which I think both of us are participating in.
Yes,
they've built some really cool technology that helps the submittal experience and boosts candidates' resume and digital. It's almost like a digital footprint, and that's becoming the wave of the future too.
Exactly. So I tell you what. So for the candidate, like, how easy is it for them to download and everything like that? Because I've run into so many experiences. I'm sure staffing firms. Well, it won't download this. Is it easy where I can explain on the phone and boom, it's right there?
No downloads, baby. No downloads. It's a smart web app. If they go on their phone, it's automatically gonna pop up. No download necessary. What is interesting though, is right now we are hyper focused on that front end candidate experience, candidate qualification, pre-hire experience, and we can deflect a lot of questions there. Moving into 2022 and beyond, we foresee more and more staffing firms picking up and investing in digital applications and worker apps. So Workin, Time Saved, Bullhorn Connect, Gig Ronin, those are really helping to transform businesses. And if you think about what happens with an applicant once they accept a job order, they're no longer going to your website for answers to their questions. They're going into the app. So we're working with those companies to figure out ways to embed our bot in the apps as well. And we'll become more and more not only a pre-hire tool, but a post-hire tool moving into next year and beyond, so that they can get answers to questions once they've become hired and become a worker as well.
I'm just amazed. First thing is no download. In light industrial, everybody's like, what do I have to download? And, most of their phones don't work that way. This is cutting edge.
You've got to make it easy for the end user, and we ask very different questions and have our bot set up very differently for healthcare, nursing versus light industrial, commercial versus IT, because the questions that you're asking are different. Sometimes the questions that you're looking for are different. Like, you're not going to ask someone in IT for certifications and licenses the same way that you are a nurse. And so you're looking for different criteria and different data depending on your vertical.
All I can say is wow. So Matt, tell us a story. I've seen on your website any great stories here of the solution and how it just revamped their staffing firm or recruiting firm.
Yeah, so we've got one of our earliest customers is a very fast growing, I think top 5 on SIA fastest growing healthcare customers. And we won't take credit for all their growth, but they are early adopters of technology, and they're seeing upwards of 15 to 20 qualified candidates per week come in that they weren't getting before. Now, it's tough to say whether or not they still would have made it in if they had a web form versus a chat bot. But what it is showing is that those providers are choosing to come through the application, and they're making more placements as a result of it. And so we definitely feel blessed to have them as a client. They've given us great feedback as they've grown, and we're excited to bring it to more and more customers. When I came on board back in September, Staffing Engine had one customer. We just signed, I think, our 10th or 11th earlier.
Nice.
And my CEO had a great line. But in SaaS, if you can sell 10 customers, you can partner with 1,000. And so we think that we're solving some really big challenges in the recruiting industry, and we're all very excited for what's coming next.
Oh, 2022 is going to be your year. And this is what I'm going to lead into. What's the forecast for Staffing Engine, yourself, in 2022 here?
Yeah. So again, growth. We've got to focus on growth, and that's growing not only my sales team, but to my point earlier, building out the onboarding team, building out the support team. We've got to be able to scale. And all the logos in the world don't do very much if you're not getting your customers live on time and keeping them happy. So we're very focused on enriching our customers and making them more successful. I mentioned that we are, from a chatbot standpoint, we are building out functionality to tie into applications to become more and more of a post-hire tool in addition to pre-hire. We've got some really cool functionality called Engine Alerts, another extension of the brand. That's going to, rather than being candidate facing, is going to be more recruiter facing. And the whole idea of this is, and we got this when I was at Bullhorn, recruiters and recruiting managers get inundated with internal email notifications, and their inboxes become crazy. Yep. And so our idea is to basically take internal ATS CRM notifications out of email and put it in a Chrome extension. So if I'm a recruiter, as I'm working in Bullhorn or on LinkedIn or out on Indeed, if a new candidate has applied and is routed to me, I get notified in real time that applicant's come in. I can click on their profile on the extension, and it brings me right to the record in the CRM. If I'm a recruiting manager and someone has entered a submittal or interview or placement, I will immediately be notified of that, and I can go directly to that record and take action. And we kind of got a little bit of this idea from Salesforce's acquisition of Slack. The whole thinking behind that acquisition was Salesforce wanted to make their customers collaboration focused. So that when customer support issues arose, they can swarm the customer or attack that problem as quickly as possible. We think we want to do the same thing for the recruiting market and the recruiting industry, and make recruiters more responsive to both candidates as well as clients when issues arise or an opportunity comes up.
Man, the solution, I'm going to say it again. It's a win-win. I mean, I'm on the front grounds all the time, and this is right here. It's the wave of the future. I'm going to give this. Hey, this is getting a thumbs up for me, my man. I mean,
hey, that's what we're here for. And I love your support. We're very appreciative, from one Penn Stater to another.
You know it, man. And I'm going to show everybody where they can reach out to you at and get a deep dive demo. There it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can call me, you can email me, you can visit our website and interact with the bot. If you actually scan that QR code, it'll put my contact information in your phone. And that's another, I'm gonna toot Andrew Kimmel's horn again. But another great idea is we're making QR codes for our customers, so that if they scan the QR code, it will bring them to a qualifying bot. So it's almost like a scan to apply. And we've seen that a lot outside the staffing and recruiting industry. We've got some really cool applications of that within the industry now. We have a customer who has a trade show coming up in a couple of weeks, and they wanted to put our QR codes all over their branding, so that as potential candidates walk by the booth, all they have to do is scan it. They can either get their contact information or fill out a form and upload their resume. And so we're transforming how they're exhibiting in front of their customers at trade shows.
I love that. So who uses a pen anymore to write stuff down, right? Unless you're going to win something. I mean, seriously, there it is. Yeah, the QR code.
What I'm not going to do, I'm not going to complain about the last 2 years. Everyone's had their challenges, but it's also brought a lot of opportunity for automation. And it's really transformed the way that all of us work. And I'm sure, some agencies are still in brick and mortar mode, but by and large, the bulk of them have gone remote or gone hybrid, and have people, working all over the place. And what's happened is some of these agencies that historically had everyone in the office in one location can now hire recruiters in different states and outside of their comfort zone. And that presents a lot of opportunity for agencies.
You got it. And I always say challenges equals change. And we are changing like you never seen before. I mean, this is good stuff. Well, hey, Matt, I want to thank you so much for being on the show, brother. I mean, this is, I love startups. This is something I'm going to endorse and support all the way, man. I definitely have to bring you guys on and your team again. We'll definitely see each other at a show sometime and have a cocktail. But tell you what,
wait for that.
Great, my man. I mean, New England and Penn State, two connections now, because I'm a Patriot fan too.
Now in sunny California. So the one step I've got on you is I moved from the East Coast to the sunny weather here in California. You gotta come out.
The only thing is, my brother lives in San Diego, right beside you. So if I ever come out, man, I'll be right there with you, my man.
We appreciate being on here. Appreciate the support. Thanks, Shark.
Anytime, my man. Sounds good. So hey, once again, check out Staffing Engine. Deep dive. They'll tell you everything about it. Startup company. Look at their solution. I'm telling you, it's the cutting edge. And I'm not going to bullshit you on that. It is the cutting edge, and it's there to stay. So, hey, Matt, once again, take care, man. And we'll see you again on another episode of Staffing Sharks Review It, the real scoop on the staffing solution. Take care.